guys, it's me, BunnyRabbitLives, and if you hear something, no you didn't. Yeah, no, you didn't. Gee, that sounds crazy coming from me. Oh my god. But yes, today I will be reading and chatting once again. Alright. Hi, Claudia! Long time no see! Are you doing good? I hope you're doing good. It's been a long time. What have you been up to? Because you already know, just hustling. I'm making a lot of, like, stuff, but it's because, like, I'm trying to get rid of stuff on my phone so I can have more space. For sure. And then I'm debating throwing, like, a sky party like I did for, like, my birthday a few years back for the 500 subscriber special. But I don't know. Because I also have to, like, plan the music and stuff and, like, the order. And luckily, I gave YouTube Music a try. And it's completely ad-free. Like, there's no ads at all. Claudia says, I've lost your channel, so I'm lucky I followed you, so now I'm here. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Don't lose it, please. If you like what you see, of course. If you don't, I mean, like, you know. But if you like what you see, don't lose it. But yeah. Have you been listening to any new music recently? I've been listening to a lot. Actually, I used to not listen to Spanish music, but now I do. I don't know what brought it on, but I enjoy it. Like Juanes and Vana. I've listened to FNAF music, it's peak. You know what? Video game music is peak sometimes. I love the sound I use in my videos in the background sometimes. Have you ever played Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly? It's on PS Vita and PC now. And the music, I think it's called something Invitation. Really good. It's such a good song, and I really like it. It sounds like mysterious yet calm. Something that you would put in the background, like exploring a dark, decrepit place. No, because I'm 10 and I don't have a PC. What? Oh, Claudia. You're 10. I did not know that. I will be careful. For you. I am, so guys, the thing is, I am a little late. Usually I start at, well, actually, I'm super early. Usually I start at 12, but I said 11 on the post, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my word and I'm gonna do it at 11. I was 4 minutes late, but something. Hey. Yeah, that's why I left when you started reading. Thank you so much, Claudia. I really appreciate it, because that was a tough chapter to read. Chapter 23, I was like, bro, why would you put this in the book? They said nothing weird happens with the horse, but I didn't consider something weird happening with the human. Oh my god. Yeah, thank god. I was so embarrassed. I was like, bro, this is not it. I looked it up too. It said nothing about spicy content. I was like, oh my god. Get out of here. I was so embarrassed. But yes. I have to like proofread everything now. Cause I was gonna, I have it on my notes. I just can't open it because it's in my streaming phone's notes. I have other books to read, but they might also be like on the other side. Oh, you're a boy. Okay. Would you like it if I called you Oni instead? Would you like that? Because I could do that for you as well. Um, my name is Dayu. Oh, okay. I'll call you Dayu if I remember. Do you guys like perfume and cologne? I've always been interested in it, but recently I got into like sweeter scents. Guys, if you hear something, no, you didn't. No, you do? Okay, so do you know what your favorite smells are? Like, because it could be anything, guys. Like, there's perfumes with every vibe. I'm talking like, I personally like woody, fruity scents because I feel like they're like on the mature side, but also like fresh. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. I like it. I like passion fruit and mandarin, and also like what else? Sandalwood. What else? I know there's a different wood that I like. I just can't remember it. Coconut with vanilla. That sounds kind of gourmet. That sounds like it's nice. I like vanilla too. I just don't use it often. It's pretty musky. Oh, I like musk though. I do like musk. Just I don't know how to feel about vanilla. Vanilla. And there's also like, hold on. Have you played anything recently? Cause me, it's my first time that I've been early to the stream. That's great. Dayu? You said Dayu. Yes, Dayu. Did I pronounce it right, by the way? Because I don't think I did. Oh. But yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It sounds like it's a different language. Is it Spanish or like what kind of language is it? It's a Romanian name, so call me Jake or whatever you want. Okay, I'll call you Jake. So like recently I've been kind of like I haven't been like say sick per se, but I've been going through something and I've been like not playing as many games as I used to unless it's for stream. I'm going to be off only one day next week. Y'all know that? Also, I haven't played Power World even though I'm addicted because I know that if I get on, I will not get off. I played Roblox because I love horror. Oh, yeah. So like I heard there's a game on there. So have you played Dark Deception? Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, have you played Dark Deception? You played the Mimic. Is the Mimic scary? Like how scary? I mean, like I know it's a scary game, but like how scary is it? I guess that's the right question to ask. Because I think like for October, I might do like a Halloween special again. But I don't have too many horror games. I just know I haven't played The Devil in Me yet, which is a horror game, and I also haven't played The Quarry. 9 out of 10. It's realistic and jump scares. I would be so scared. Somebody recommended Medicine. I think it was a fake person, and I was like, wait, that looks too scary. That looks like I could not finish that for sure. You know what I mean? So yes. I don't know. Like I like scary games. They just can't be too scary. You know what I mean? Or I also played wait, I still have what's the name of that game? What is that cute little cozy game? It's okay. It's okay, Dick. It's alright. I don't take offense to it. I was gonna say like I was thinking about this specific game that I own that I haven't streamed yet just because I know like I would struggle alone. It's called Little Nightmares 3. I have Little Nightmares 3. I already played 1 and 2. You know that game? Okay, so what do you think about it? Because I played it and I got stuck in a place and I haven't played it since. I got like the first trophy and then I haven't played it since. But I haven't streamed it either, so I was debating like having like that Halloween special like I usually do. The lady with the long neck is pretty cool. You're talking about the piano teacher, right? She was scary. I like her neck and everything. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, stop going around the books. It really like it would freak me out a little bit or a lot. Yes, but I had fun. I like scary games sometimes. What other scary games have you tried? I tried the demo for Dark Deception and I like it, but at the same time, like I don't like to get chased. It was pretty fun though. It's okay, Dick. Feel free to play with your puppy. Hello, Dick's puppy. But I don't know. Wait, maybe I need to change my background. Maybe I need to. Because I don't want to like. Maybe I need to make a new room. Is it a Chihuahua? I like Chihuahuas. There we go. Me and my juice. I like Chihuahuas. I actually want my own Chihuahua. I want like a little cute Chihuahua, and then a little Shih Tzu, a Maltese. I was debating, like, actually, I've been thinking, like, maybe I should get like a place and like save money, get a dog, just live life like that. I want to say like I hope your dog lives a really long life. That's what I want to say. I hope your dog lives a really long life where they are happy and they don't have to worry and they just get everything they need. Because recently I myself lost a dog and I worked really hard. No, he's some king of white breed. His name is Sasha. I don't know how to write it, but he's big, like a wiener dog. A big wiener dog? Maybe he's a mixed breed. Maybe like a mixed wiener dog breed. A dachshund. Those, okay, there's a funny story. Like one time I was going to buy a puppy, right? And I went to the store and then this guy was like, "Oh, look, we have these puppies." And I said, "Oh yeah, the sausage dogs." because I was like 9, right? I was a bad kid, okay. And then he was like, yeah, the dachshunds. And I said, yeah, the sausage dogs. And they got upset because I knew they were gonna get upset because of the way they said it. I was like, okay, let me play around a little bit. I was such a bad kid. I was like, what's he gonna do anyways? Besides look at me bad. I don't know. You know, like if you're like Hispanic, sometimes you're a little playful. I'm a little playful sometimes. I rage bait sometimes a little bit, just a little bit. But I don't do it on purpose. Actually, maybe I do. I might be doing it on purpose. Did I put it on like full brightness? I hope so. But yes. But you know what? If your dog is cool like that, because mine was a mixed breed too. Mine was a blue heeler German Shepherd mix. And she was only 6, I think, when she passed. But she had like some heartworms. So like, guys, make sure you like do that heartworm prevention. Make sure you take care of your dogs, like everything that they need. In your power, of course. Like I know like in today's economy it can be hard, but yeah. I won't judge people for that kind of stuff. Like now, if you like do evil stuff, evil mean crazy stuff, like yeah, you will be judged. But other than that, not really. I think I'm pretty reasonable. But at the same time, oh my gosh, I really want like a brown chihuahua, and that's a guy, a boy, and I want to name him what do I want to name him? Balboa, because Rocky's too popular with dogs. Rocky is too popular, so I want to name my brown dog Balboa. But I saw like a brown Shih Tzu once, and I wanted it so bad, and I couldn't buy it because it was like 2,000 or 3,000, and I was like, bro, that's that's like the price of the eyeball that I want. Not that I can get it. I mean, I don't want too many like expensive things. I want like a motorcycle. I want a a tiny house. I want a dog. I want an eyeball. I want a PC. I want a lot of stuff. I'm working, guys. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? That's why stream is like this. That's why the stream schedule is like this. But I am working hard. And also I'm gonna start maybe for like reading, I'll change it to this background so that y'all know like if I'm gonna be like talking more like mature topics and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yes. It's what I've been thinking of doing because I was like, wait. Let me check this. What day is it today? Today's the 16th, guys. Oh my goodness. Wait, I was like, oh, I think my Tamagotchi like got older, or it might have been somebody else's. Hold on. If you hear something, no, you didn't. You said, I'm only here, so. Oh, new people. 2 people joined. Nice. Hello, everybody. It looks like I'm sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I was sleep talking. Just kidding. I was actually gonna stay asleep a little longer, but I was like, wait, no. I can't do that. I already told them I was gonna do it at 11, so I gotta change that on the schedule, by the way, for future reference. It's pretty hard for me to wake up at 11. I like went to sleep early, actually. I really did. Yo, there's 6 people now. Oh, wait. There's 3. Yup. But it's okay, it's okay. No worries, Jake. Right here, right now, we're here to just relax and chat for an hour, and then I'll tell y'all, like, when I start reading, because it is a young adult book and stuff that I will be reading at 1. Not 1, at 12, I mean, which is, like, I'm kind of scared, though, because, I usually don't read stuff like that in the public eye, so, but I don't think it's gonna happen again in the book until later. And if it does, I'm just gonna skip the whole chapter. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? For real. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost done. The book is almost done. We're like, it's 12 plus? Yeah, PM. So like not at night. 12 in the afternoon. Hi, Midnight Moon. How are you doing? Nice profile pic. Is that Ever Since or whatever? The song? The album for it? Hell yeah. Finally, someone says something. Wait, don't force people to talk. Come on now, Jake. It's fine if they want to lurk. It's okay. I'll just have to think about stuff to talk about. Thank you, Midnight Moonlight. What? So, I'm guessing you like more alternative music, right? What kind of alternative music do you like? I would say we have like 10 chapters left. Death Notes and Sublime. Oh, actually, that sounds really interesting. Do you know what? I haven't heard them very often, but I do like Muse. And I do like, I used to like Mindless Self-Indulgence. I still like them, I just don't listen to them, like, out of free will and choice. We could talk about anything. Like, I could answer questions, I could talk about movies, music, art, shows, books. I could talk about anything. Dogs. I like dogs. Cats. Anything, really. Have you seen Hazbin Hotel? I have not. I have not seen it. But I have seen some of the Amazing Digital Circus, which I do enjoy. I just don't have Netflix anymore. But I know it's on YouTube, so I could just look it up on YouTube. But I've been making like a lot of shorts and content because I'm gonna get different scheduling later. What about you, Midnight Moonlight? Have you seen Hazbin Hotel? It's as people hate on Jack so much, they make a YouTube channel about it. Sad. Okay, look. I used to hate Jax, and then like he started becoming nice, like in the end, and then he started like doing all this stuff, and I was just like, wait, Jax, what are you doing? It's okay. I haven't either, honestly. So there's nothing wrong with it. But you know what? Dex is okay. My favorite character, you already know, it's probably Pomni. But also, I really like the gummy shark. I think. But you know what else? Rip Dex. He passed away. Is that a spoiler meant for me? Sorry, I'm from Romania Midnight, so that's why I don't speak perfectly or write perfectly. Is it? I don't think they were like judging you. Episode 9 came out. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll see it after this, because I've also been thinking about seeing The Miraculous Ladybug. The Miraculous Adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir, because I hear like the recent updates, I mean the recent seasons of the show are more like mature and stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's see how they have evolved as characters and designs and everything. You know what I mean? Especially what's his name? Chad? Is his name Chad or Chat? Chat Noir. I've watched Murder Drones. There's a comic for that one. I've seen the comic in my local comic shop, but I don't really. I feel like comics, they book fish you. You know how catfish is a concept? Book fishing is a concept. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because comics will have like the most awesome cover art. And then you'll open it and you'll be like, ugh, that looks nothing like the cover. Yeah, really. I need to finish Miraculous too, right? I only got to the part where we meet. Wait, what happened to Luca? Oh my gosh, Luca and freaking what's her name? Marinette. I was like, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? I hope Luca is still a part of the group, because when I see like clips about it, I don't see like the updates with Luca. I only see like how Chat and Marinette and Ladybug all like evolve together, but I don't see Luca in that. Y'all know how is Lego in America? Import? Is that being imported? That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it being imported? Because I think so. I used to play with Legos when I was a kid, actually. But I never got to like play with the fancy sets, the expensive ones nowadays. I only ever got to play with like the regular smegular like blocks when I was a kid. Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe it's a glitch, Jake. She's here. You don't really know? Me neither. I was guessing importation. No, I'm right here. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I think it's like glitching out, honestly. Which is why I don't really pay attention to the numbers, because it could glitch out and then I'm like, wait, if I pay attention to it, like, why? I just decide to just pay attention to y'all, focus on y'all, so that we could chat and I can be attentive to all of y'all. But you know what else I want to see? Like, I wish they would make a show. No, for real, for real. um oh yeah, I've been trying to get YouTube Music, and they gave me premium free for 1 month, and there's actually no ads. You said, oh, it's okay. It's okay, guys. I am not worried. Everything is fine and dandy. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And then, so I really wish they would make a show, kind of like how the Harry Potter movies start when they're young and then they finish when they're older. I want that, but in a TV show. I think, I think it's called Anne of Green something. That one does it. There's five. Five. Hello. Heard that VTuber models are very expensive. They kind of are. They kind of are expensive. If you get them made like by by a person. So like if you want a 2D VTuber, like the ones that are popular right now, you have to go to an artist or you have to make the art yourself, and then you have to do the rigging yourself. You have to pay somebody to do the rigging after you pay somebody to make the art. And after that, I don't know what to do because I was like, hey, I don't even got this kind of money. But I'm using Reality, the application for the iOS and Android phones. And it's pretty good because everything's free for the most part. When I'm 11, I'm gonna go to the gym. What should I work on first? Oh, you're asking the wrong person. You want to know why I say that? I would also like to go to the gym at some point, and I do not know what I would work on first. Probably my arms. I kind of want to be able to actually, maybe my arms and my core, because I want to be able to like lift things. But then wouldn't that mean like I would have to work on my entire body? Because that way, like, my legs would be able to hold up my upper body, and then like my upper body would be able to like lift the things. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this too hard. I do volleyball. You do volleyball. Are you good at it? We used to do volleyball at my school, but I wouldn't say I was good. I just know how to like, you know how you hit the ball and you have to hit it with your like thumbs. I want to be fast, so AMA work on my legs first when I'm 11. I think for that, you just have to work on your cardio, no? Your legs will naturally develop as you run. You know what I mean? Or jump. So what I think for like what you want to work on your like cardio, which is like jump roping, walking, running, dancing, I guess. But I could be wrong. I just feel like that's what tires me out the most, which is what I think cardio does. Oh my goodness. Midnight says, yes, ma'am. See, that's what I'm talking about. So, like, when I play volleyball, I only know how to hit the ball like that. I don't know what else to do. I don't know a lot. But I know, like, with football, you just have to, like, use your feet, no hands, get into the goal, that's it. Just know which side's your team. But what's it called? But also like basketball, I was bad at too. I would like make illegal moves. So I would like grab the ball and like drag on my knees while I dribble it so that I could be faster. Giving my dog belly rubs. Oh, that's nice. What's your dog's name? Mine used to be Kiki. Midnight, do you have a dog? Yours is Sasha. Sasha. Hi, Linda. Welcome back. Not much. I just right here, vibing with everybody. I'm going to work today evening though. Same. I close tonight. You have a dog, Midnight? What's your dog's name? You have thunderstorms and rain where you're at? For me, I don't think so. At least not at the moment. My dog's name is Penny. Are they like penny colored? Or they're just, is this a cute little name? I'm okay. I'm just chill right now. Same. I'm actually, like, I've been drinking a lot of juice. And I'm just like, staying hydrated. But, what's your favorite show, Linda? Yeah! She's like a light copper. That sounds cute. What kind of dog is it? Jake says, but my mom named my dog. If I had to name my dog, I would name her Snowflake. Snowflake is nice. It's cute. We had a white fluffy cat, and her name was Boloncha. And she was feisty, but she was also very loving. With me, particularly. Because I would, like, pet her and, like, scratch her little back and stuff. She was cute. She's a pit bull. Oh, wow. That sounds cute. Is it like a chunky head pit bull? My favorite shows is KC Undercover Disney Channel. Wow! I haven't had Disney Channel in so long. Is it still expensive? Yeah, my dog is really white. Like, I saw she looks like snow. You said she's a dachshund? Because I kind of want, like, a Maltese. Kind of want, like, so, like, I want I want a lot of dogs, okay? Yeah, it costs a lot in TV. Yeah, see, I can't afford that, but I also can't afford Netflix at the moment. I also like you use from the app. Um, I also can't afford Disney Plus. But if they're on YouTube, like, or if I could get like some clips, I wouldn't mind, like, you know, looking it up there. No worries. If I had money, I would buy a cheetah. Did you know? Wait, should I even share that? Um, don't we all want a lot of dogs? Right? I'm like, I want to make my house dog heaven. Yeah, nice to talk to you too, Linda. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. But yeah, I really do want a lot of dogs. I was gonna tell y'all a fact about cheetahs. Okay, so cheetahs, even though they're big cats, they're actually like on the weaker end where they're at, which I can't remember exactly where they're at. Like, are they like from Africa or something? So like cheetahs, they're actually in like on the weaker side out there. So they pretty much get bullied by a lot of things. They're pretty delicate, and they're also kind of getting inbred because of how endangered they are. There's a cat that's actually most accurate to the cheetah, so you can get a cheetah without it being illegal. Are you talking about the what's the name of that one? I think I know what you're talking about. I just forgot its name. But they're huge. I met a friend at store Maurice. Her name is Avery Smith. She lives by, oh goodness, Linda. You're sharing your friend's personal information online. Midnight said, I think cheetahs live in the East Asia or something. Isn't that tigers? Hello, Clifton. How are you doing? Are you doing good? See, I said hello today. Ayo. That cat is called Savannah. Oh, that's great to know, because I forgot. Savannahs are actually really energetic. She does accurately let some humans pet them. Actually, let some humans pet them. Because cheetahs don't see humans as prey. Yeah, because they're cute big cats. They actually meow too. on, like I said, they're on the weaker side, so they're not gonna mess with like a person because a person looks like, you know, tough, you know. And Linda says, But yeah, like, what about you, Linda? Do you have any dogs, and what kind of dogs are they? I I think I'm gonna start like when I make the thumbnails, I'm just gonna start like putting like YA or something on there, so like people like watch out, ah. But yeah. Oh, you said and tigers in the zoo let their zookeepers pet them. You can punish a tiger and a lion if you raise them because they see you as the alpha if you raise them when they are babies. Oh, wait, Jake, I thought that was a myth. I thought that was a myth. Like they don't have like a hierarchy like that, I think. Or is that wolves? I think it's wolves. So wolves actually don't have that alpha and omega view that people mention. Like they do let the young ones eat sometimes right first, but I think they what I remember is that they travel in packs of families. So they don't let outsiders in very often. And when they do, it's only so that they can breed, which is what I think happens. But usually what you would consider the alphas in a pack of wolves is actually the mom and the dad taking care of their, you know, subordinates, babies, youngs. And also, African painted dogs communicate through sneezes, I think. I remember that. That's what I remember, but I'm not like entirely sure now. It's been a while. You're doing good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And what have you been up to, Clifton? You're the alpha, Midnight. Nope, you can see them in shorts. Zookeepers, but leopards, you can't yell at them. They won't see you as the alpha. They see you as a treat when you yell. Oh, goodness. Leopards. Yeah, leopards are pretty dangerous. They're known as apex predators, actually. I thought you so like when you said leopards, what it reminded me of was a mountain lion. But mountain lions, you can actually scare them off if you're loud or if you look bigger than they are. So, have y'all seen Twilight? I mean, I know I'm asking this. I know it's a really popular form of media, but I know it's a really popular movie. But have y'all seen it? I think I forgot her name. Dakota is in it. And Dakota, she's also in Uptown Girls. Uptown Girls is one of my favorite movies. She's with Brittany Murphy in it. But Dakota was in Twilight. But she wasn't a she wasn't a werewolf, she was a vampire. But like one of those like top dog vampires. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I would ask y'all to blink twice, but I don't see how y'all I can't see y'all. So it wouldn't count. Say yes, but honestly guys, everything I say correlates to everything, whatever. Sorry guys, like y'all said alpha and omega and I was like, wait, was that me? Actually, wait, you know what, Moving on. You have. And has it been like fun doing what you have been doing, Clifton? Have you have seen it is what you mean. What do y'all think about Twilight? Imagine you're a lion and a squishy, fleshy thing punishes you. Oh my gosh. Well, I think male lions, like, they're on the sensitive side. If you look up if you look up lion facts, you'll see that the female lions are actually the ones that run the pack. They go hunting, they leave the male to protect the, the territory or whatever. While they go off and hunt or take care of their young or teach their young and do stuff like that. You haven't seen it yet, Midnight? It's okay. It happens. I've only seen some of them, and like the ones that I've seen, like I just think it's funny how Bella like interacts with the world. She'll be like twitching her head a lot, or like like looking away, all awkward and stuff, making awkward sounds. Have y'all seen the voiceover videos for Twilight? I think they're funny, quite honestly. You know what I wish? I wish I could stream on here and on reality, so I could show y'all the videos that I'm talking about. But I've tried it before and it mutes me on reality, I think, or on here. So sadly, I can't. Man, I don't know what is with me. I sneezed 14 times in a row right now. Bless you times 10. I mean, my bad. Bless you times 14. You know what? And that's okay. Like, are you allergic to something? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why you sneeze so much. Maybe you're allergic to something. But right before I start reading, I'm probably gonna take a restroom break, guys, and then I'll like go ahead and let y'all know all the information on the book, and then I'll start reading. But yes, guys, I'll probably, or should I keep going until like 12:30 and then start reading? I thought I did not have internet for a second when I saw you not move. No, my avatar sometimes just glitches out like that. My avatar is like, I shall do my own thing. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't wink all the time. But you know what? I do. I do wink all the time. Every time. But are you like, okay, so I will say this. Wait, how much did the avatar cost? My avatar is completely free. So my avatar cost nothing, and I haven't spent real money on this app yet. It's in reality. You might have to go soon. Oh, it's okay, Midnight. But if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Probably next time y'all see me, I'll either be just chatting or playing video games. You'll see on the schedule. Just don't forget to check the community tab. Just let me know before you go so I can bid you farewell as well. It's okay. It's okay, Jake. You're my second streamer that even saw my replies and read them. Oh, that's sad. I mean, look, streaming is all about like communicating. So streaming, like for me, I do read everything. Oh, you okay? I am subscribed, and bye bye. Goodbye, midnight moonlight. Stay hydrated. Have a great day or night, and don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not already. If you like what you see, check the description down below, and bye. I'm not leaving, guys. I'm not. That's how I bid farewell to everybody. If I scroll down, I will see some fake ISO speed guy that doesn't even talk. Oh, you know what? Like everyone has a different style of streaming. I really like chatting with everybody. So even if I get popular, I'll probably have to pick like one what's it called? One chat and then go off of that. Or I might have to implement the slow down mode that people put on. Just because so I can talk with everybody at a good pace. But I do wonder how that works. I actually do. I think I would have to like figure that out on my own. Some way, somehow, you know what I mean? So like yeah, like live chat, chat filter, description. See, I wouldn't know like what to do. But it automatically changes my stuff for me, you know what I mean? So like when I say it automatically changes my stuff for me, I mean like it always puts on the chat like top chatters only, like, but I want to see all chats. So I have to start checking that from now on, just so that I can, be fair with everybody. Because I also don't want anyone to feel left out, especially if they're like struggling. Like yesterday, there was somebody here that looked like they were struggling, and I replied to them because that's the right thing to do. So, y'all, what dragon puppets should I make? It could be any animal. A bunny. Make it a bunny. A bunny or a dog. Or an axolotl. Or a sheep. A sheep. Make it a sheep. Actually, that would be interesting. I wonder what a sheep hand puppet would look like. That would be cool. Or like, could it be like, should I make it scary? It'd be up to you. Do you like it scary? If you want to make it scary, go ahead. But if you want to make it cute or like, exciting, you could do that too. Like, I don't know. It'd be up to you because, Jake, you know what you like. You know how to make things, and then I'm gonna have to like say that me personally, I don't know what I would do. Last time I made some more, it was of a dog that I loved a lot at my last job, and that dog, I made him pink. I will make the goat that you can take the face off to show a wolf in disguise. Actually, that's so cool. That would be cool to see. I used to have a shirt like that, actually. It was like a little wolf dressed like a sheep with a little glass of blood. One of my favorite shirts ever, but it got like a big giant hole in it and then it like completely shredded apart. And I couldn't wear it no more. Big sad. I had it for years too. I got it in ninth grade, and then it went away in like 2022 or 2023 is when the shirt stopped being usable. Which is, I don't know, guys. I really like to use stuff until I can't use it anymore. And I'm also like really not into like You know what I mean? Like, overbuying stuff. Although I do like to collect things, but it's things that I look at and appreciate a lot. On the other hand, like, I don't really overbuy clothes or shoes. I only have one pair of shoes. But yes. Guys, I will be right back. I will have to go on a break, and then I will come back and start probably reading or letting y'all know about the book and then reading. Okay, guys? So, be right back. Okay? I'm back! Hello! I have returned. You said BRB. I said I thought the stream was gonna end, then run when she's back. Ayo! You said, should I 3D print a teeth for the puppet? I think that'd be interesting. Ayo! If y'all are new, just know that she's taking a break, so don't be mad. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I am back, so I will have to let y'all know that I will have to start reading. Okay? This book is YA, so young adult. So anybody who's under 18 should head out. No, you should not stay, Jake. You're only 10. Remember? You said BRB? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. If you do want to stay, don't stay. But I will be probably, if there's people here, after I finish reading by 1, I could chat a little longer with y'all. But that's after 1. So, yeah. Alright, guys. With that being said, stay hydrated. Grab a, snack or something. And I will be starting to read now. In 1, 2, 3. We left the Green Haven shortly after. We'd lost our belongings to the brigands, but I saddled Eric with the piebald mare's tack, and the Green Witch supplied us with a satchel of provisions, including a tincture to prevent conception. What? By the Virtue's mercy, I still had the dagger I'd worn strapped to my wrist. My rapier was lost somewhere in the road. Not that it had done me much good against the outlaws. All my training, and yet I had proven myself as useful as a desert fork in a naval battle. Still, I felt better at having a blade, even if I'd lost confidence in my ability to use it. As we prepared to depart, our host held me back at the threshold. She handed me a waxed cloth bag full of what felt like pebbles. Here, for when your stomach troubles you. What do you mean you can't hear me? You lying. Here, for when your stomach troubles you. I took the bag from her warily. Its contents smelled strongly of peppermint. What do you mean? She waved a hand, encompassing my entire body with the gesture. Your aches. The abdominal pain. I've seen those symptoms before. I barely prevented myself from taking a step back. I hadn't told her about my condition. Moreover, it had never occurred to me that it might not be unique to me. I'd always thought myself alone in my affliction. Was it possible that there were others like me? Each of us hiding our symptoms, not realizing there were others just as afraid of being seen and judged? You're poisoning yourself, the Green Witch said. That's the root of it. I shook my head, recovering my composure. I have an excellent apothecary. She would never. I don't mean deliberately. The Green Witch cut me off. She stared at me as if I were an interesting weed in her garden. There's something afflicting your body. Figure out what's poisoning you, and your symptoms will eventually stop. It won't cure you, but you won't have to live in pain. It was such a mirror of my earlier conversation with Eric that the world seemed to double, as if time had repeated itself. I glanced at my equine husband, who was waiting near the stables, saddled and shifting his weight impatiently. He tossed his head, snorting as a fly circled his hindquarters. "Do you know what it is? The thing that's poisoning me?" "No. There can be different causes for different people." She nodded at Eric, following my gaze. "But that husband of yours is clever, even if he was foolish enough to get himself horsified. He can help you figure it out." I remembered all the questions Eric asked me when he learned of my condition. Not what was wrong with me, not what I couldn't do. No, he wanted to understand the shape of my pain, studying it as an abstract problem, not the personal failing I'd always understood it to be. He was already seeking the answer, and he didn't even have a Greenwitch's magical intuition. It was suddenly hard to breathe, and not because of my healing rib. I turned back to the Green Witch. She was watching me with arms crossed, her eyes knowing. The tattoos were hidden again, folded beneath her sleeves. "The peppermints should help," she said. "Use them sparingly." I put a little power into them. I tucked the bag into the pocket of my coat. "I don't know why you're helping us," I said, "but thank you." The Green Witch smiled, sharp as a scalpel. "The Lady of the Wilds has her plans," she said. "Occasionally, they involve we who serve her. Take care of the king. Be careful with your blood." "What do you—" My words were cut short. She'd closed the door in my face. A shiver ran down my spine like a cold drop of water. We'd never told her Eric was royal. I might have spoken his name in her presence, I wasn't certain now. But it was a common one in Gildenheim. It shouldn't have been enough to betray us. Or had she recognized the blood magic scars on my hands and realized what they meant? I forced myself to turn away from the door. The Green Witch had proved herself no threat to us, and we had many miles to cover. We needed to make up for lost time, if we had any chance of returning to Arlem before the coronation. I went to Eric and got up on his back with the help of a mounting stool. "How far are we from the border?" I asked him. I'd lost any sense I had of Gildan geography, disoriented by the twists of our route. Had taken. He flicked his tail, considering. "If we ride hard, I think we can make it to the inn by sunset." I gripped my pommel and settled myself in the saddle, ensuring our satchel of provisions was secured. "Then let's ride hard." Tatiana would be waiting for us by now, and she wouldn't let me down. She never had, no matter how often we fought or how deeply we disagreed. The sooner we reached her, the sooner we could repair everything I'd broken. The more chance we had to build something better in its stead. I just hoped we weren't too late. We rode hard. From the Greenhaven, we emerged onto the main road earlier than I'd expected, and we were soon flying south. Eric's hooves tattooed a steady drumbeat on the thoroughfare. After the brigands, I tensed at every village we passed, fear needling an anxious line down my back. But no one looked twice at us. In my common clothes, I was just an ordinary traveler on horseback. I had shed the bright trappings of my life, slothed them away like a bird's molted feathers, and without them I was anonymous. It was surprisingly freeing to not be reconsidered for who I was, or recognized for who I was. Not a duchess, not an heir, Not anybody except what I made of myself. We passed through the village without incident and continued on. As we rejoined the main road, mist curled around the trees and obscured the mountain tops, slimming the world down to only Eric and me, and the way forwards. As the day wore on and our elevation increased, the fog broke, surrendering to the clearest day I'd seen in Gildenham, the sky as blue as ice. But I was in little state to enjoy the day's beauty. As Eric's hooves ate away the miles, every one of my fears spoke up, each trying to make itself hard over the rest. My guilt over abandoning my retinue, Eric's curse, the impending coronation, the fear that, now that I had gained Eric for my own, I was about to lose him for good. All my life I'd hidden my heart, guarded myself with meaningless words and empty smiles, pretending that concealing my pain was the same as never feeling it. Under my parents' tutelage, I'd even learned to hide my condition. In their eyes, the worst of my flaws. A weakness I couldn't carve away through training or practice, or sheer force of will. My parents had been forced to acknowledge eventually that my flares were unavoidable, but that didn't mean they were acceptable. And they'd made it clear I wasn't allowed failure in any other aspect. I had to be flawless. I had to be a weapon, wielded for the advancement of my house and country. Riding towards the border astride the husband I'd accidentally cursed, I felt the farthest thing from flawless. I wasn't a weapon, I was a hairpin, easily bent and readily discarded. Yet Eric hadn't discarded me when he saw my flaws. Instead, he'd seen a different part of me, a different sort of strength in me, one I'd never realized I possessed. And his acceptance disarmed me more than any opposition could. He'd reached past my defenses, and I had let him, welcomed him, against the logic of everything I'd been taught. I knew that wanting him was a blade that could be turned against me. To love someone was to throw down your shields, lay your heart bare, and watch as it was cut in two. Love. The word stopped my thoughts short. I hadn't allowed myself to consider whether I was falling in love with Eric, but the possibility alone was dizzying. I had been walking belightedly along a trail I thought was certain, only to come abruptly to a precipice. Now the drop plunged at my feet. Another step and I would fall. But surely this was different from what had happened with Catalina. Eric was my husband. I'd married him out of duty. I wasn't acting on a selfish impulse. I was strengthening our country's ties, not jeopardizing Demaria's future. Surely, in this case, it was all right to let myself want him, to allow myself to memorize the sensation of his hand against my palm, my neck, my hip, to lose myself momentarily in the warmth of his lips and the depths of his eyes. Duty had bound us together, and duty was safe. There was no reason to feel this inkling of doubt, no reason to be afraid of what was happening between us. I wouldn't fall, I wouldn't drown. But though I tried, I couldn't cast that feeling off. Not entirely. It spiraled through my core, a dark thread winding tighter and tighter around my all too open heart. Meanwhile, oblivious to the bleak turn of my thoughts, the road unwound beneath us like a spool of pale ribbon. I'd expected we would need to rest frequently, but Eric, stronger and more confident now that he'd had time to adjust to his equine form, was determined to eke the use out of every moment of daylight. Halfway through the afternoon, my stomach began to cramp. I dug out one of the Green Witch's peppermints and ate it without saying anything to Eric. We couldn't afford to stop. The cool, sweet taste carried the bite of something more powerful. And to my relief, my nausea ebbed, though it didn't vanish entirely. The land blurred by, town after forest after mountain pass. As we approached afternoon, I realized something subtle had shifted in the landscape. Evergreen forests giving way to newly budding leaves, the land sloping gently towards the downwards, the fresh taste of spring in the air. We'd crossed the bulk of the mountains and were rapidly approaching the border of Demaria. As the sun brushed the horizon, the road rose upwards again towards a final mountain pass. In the valley before its crest, a well-maintained two-story inn waited by the roadside. A flagpole jutted from its eaves, bearing two crisp banners, the blue ninefold star of Demaria and the winged white horse of Gildenham. I swung down from the saddle, my legs trembling with fatigue, my stomach in knots. We had made it. We had reached the border. And, assuming Tatiana was here, the answer to my husband's curse. I have arrived. Wait, I'm gonna take a drinking break and I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit. Dijo... I can't hear you, so when you're done, just wave so I know you're done. I don't know if it's glitching, but I'm only here. Rep es recepción. ¿Recepción de qué? Oh, repetición de qué? ¿Repetición de qué? Oh, del video. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás, programador? Toxic Waste says, hey, bunny lady, just stopped by to show some love. Happy reading. Thank you, Toxic Waste. Really appreciate it. No, I am not done. I only took a break to say hello to everybody. I'm gonna start reading again in 1, 2, and 3. As it was already nearly sunset, we took the precaution of retreating a short distance into the trees, so Eric wouldn't transform in front of inquiring eyes. A few minutes later, as the colors of dusk were bruising the horizon, we crossed the road and headed for the inn. Igualmente. Bye. The building's courtyard was quiet. No other travelers in sight. A girl emerged to take our horses, a hostler, though she couldn't have been more than 14. She looked confused at the sight of Eric carrying a saddle with no steed in sight, but took it from him without question and promised to store it with the rest of the guests' tack. I stopped her with a touch of I stopped her with a touch of the shoulder, and she started to leave. Are there any guests here from Demaria? A young woman about my age and build. The girl's expression lit with recognition. Oh yes! The lady said she was expecting a visitor. She was right. You do look like her. Though I expect someone more... Her voice faded, her cheeks flushing dark. I became suddenly critically aware of the state of my clothes. Travel had done me no favors. My hair was a bird's nest, and I'd acquired a layer of grime that felt as indelible as varnish. The holster didn't need to finish her sentence. I might share Tatiana's face, but I didn't look like a noble. It didn't matter. My sister was here. That was the important part. She would plot a way out of this mess, just as she'd schemed her way into mischief dozens of times when we were younger. And despite my exhaustion and the nausea lapping at the periphery of my awareness, I felt lighter just at the thought of seeing her. "Where can I find her?" I asked. "She's staying on the second floor." I left the girl on her duties and started towards the inn's front door. Halfway across the courtyard, I realized Eric hadn't followed. I turned back to face him. "Aren't you coming?" He cast a dubious look at the sky, where the first stars were brightening the vault. Considering what happened the last time I entered an inn, I'm not sure that's wise. "Tatiana's here," I said. "She can fix this before sunrise. Come with me." I took his hand. Eric was resistant at first, but then wrapped his fingers around mine and let me draw him after me. The warmth of his palm was as welcome as a fire on a cold night. The inn was clean, bright, lit by both the hearth and a host of pewter-backed candles lining the walls. It was early to light so many tappers, but as the glass-paned windows indicated, the place was doing well for itself. As the only inn at one of the few border crossings between Domeria and Gildenham, they must put in plenty of business from wealthy travelers like Tatiana. The main room wasn't as busy as I'd feared, but again, it was barely after sunset. More travelers would probably file in with the arrival of proper darkness. Still, I held Eric's hand more tightly and headed towards the stairs, eager to be out of sight. I couldn't forget how we'd been targeted the last time we stayed at an inn. Although small mercy, we looked decidedly less royal now. Eric in his homespun from the Greenwich, and I in garments so begrimed they might have been brown to begin with. At the top of the stairs, I hesitated, surveying a hallway lined with identical doors. I should have asked the holster which room was Tatiana's. But I didn't wonder for long. The next instant, the door at the end of the hall flew open and my sister hurtled down the corridor towards us, a whirlwind of diaphanous skirts. "Little bee!" She flung her arms around me so hard the air whooshed out of my chest. My ribcage shrieked with agony. "Tatiana," I wheezed, "too tight." She bounced back on her heels, holding me at arm's length. "Is it your condition? You are looking a little green." Her eyes traveled over my shoulder and found Eric. They widened, then abruptly narrowed into what I knew from experience was Tatiana's most baleful stare. "Your Majesty." Her tone had cooled at least 10 degrees. I wasn't expecting the pleasure. "Yes, I told you I would explain in my letter," I said hurriedly. I cast a nervous glance over my shoulder. How far did sound carry in these halls? "Could we please go to your room, so I can fill you in and we can set things straight before my husband turns into a horse in the middle of the hallway?" To her credit, my sister didn't question. She merely turned on her heel and led us to her chamber, where she closed the door behind us with a definitive click. Then she spun to face me, her composed expression dissolving into a private look of concern. "I think this sees you're all right. Do you have any idea how worried I've been? I've been pacing this room for 2 days straight, ready to pull my nails out. When you sent me that extremely cryptic message via barnacle goose, I couldn't spare the energy to wonder why, of all the birds in existence, Evito had chosen a barnacle goose as his first messenger. I sank down on the seat, my head spinning. Wait, 2 days? How did you get here so early? And where are your guards, for that matter? I'd sent my message, apparently entrusted to the delivery skills of barnyard fowl, the day before Tatiana arrived here. If the court was right, I wasn't certain of the traveling speed of a goose, but it should have taken at least a day for the letter to reach Tatiana, and another 3 or so for her to travel to the border. My sister's entire expression lit up. I braced myself. You recall the legend of the 7 league boots? Yes, I said wearily. Tatiana had always been particularly fond of that tale. Traveling 7 seas, 7 leagues from our parents in a single step had an undeniable appeal, especially when we were younger. Well, I was tinkering around and decided to put my own spin on them. Tatiana rummaged in one of her satchels and emerged triumphantly holding what appeared to be a chamber pot. If that is a chamber pot, were made of brass, encrusted with enamel, and clearly fashioned for public display. Tatiana, I said, that is a spittoon. I know, she said brightly. It was a nice ring to it, doesn't it? 7 league spittoon? Don't worry, it's been thoroughly cleaned. She frowned pensively at the enchanted cuspidor. Although it does have quite a kick to it. Threw off my entire retinue in the palace courtyard. They didn't even make it a single step. Poor souls. Perhaps that's for the best. I'd hate for them to be strewn across the road to Gildenham like a string of sausages. Or maybe like breadcrumbs. That's a much nicer thought. Although I suppose it implies that they would be broken up into little pieces. Virtue of patience. Under normal circumstances, I was happy to listen to my sister's rambling theories about her various magical mishaps, but now was not the moment. Never mind the spittoon, I said. We don't have much time. At sunrise, my husband is going to turn back into a horse, a very large horse with a propensity of breaking bed frames. Tatiana arched a brow at me. Breaking bed frames? Really, Bianca? Heat rushed to my face. It's not like that. Agreed. Oh, God. Agreed. Eric put in hastily, spots of color flaring in his own cheeks. It would be ideal to end the curse before I risk losing another pair of clothes. Another? Tatiana began. Anyway, I forged on, my cheeks on fire. The relevant point is that we need you to undo your enchantment before Eric turns back into a horse. Tatiana looked at me, for once without a ready response. Then she set the spittoon carefully on the bed and folded her arms across her chest. Explain. From the beginning. I did. As fast as I was able, Eric offering the occasional quiet addition, Tatiana pacing the floor as if determined to wear a hole through the boards. I left out the part about sleeping with Eric, my words faltering over the gap in my tale, and Tatiana's eyes flickered between us in a way that told me she missed nothing. I continued, blushing, and related the rest as clearly as I could. By the time I was done, the sky was spangled with stars, and my tongue was dry as beach sand. And that's the sum of it, I finished. Now you just need to undo the spell so we can get back to Arlem before Varian takes the crown. I fished the empty locket from where it had hung below my neckline, drew the chain over my head, and held it out to my sister. Tatiana, most unlike herself, had fallen silent. She looked at me, her lower lip caught between her teeth. I braced myself. I knew that expression. It was the same she'd worn when she accidentally turned our mother's favorite diadem into a puddle of very liquid gold. I'm sorry, Tatiana said. I can't. That's crazy. I'm gonna take another break. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me see. What was said while I was away? Meg said, back again. Hi. Subscribe to the channel. All of you subscribe. Meg, she's reading. Sorry if she's not responding. Dang. Support the channel. I'm subbed from a long time ago. Thank you, Meg, for supporting this channel. Claudia, you are a sister of Bunny Rabbit. I am not, Meg, and I'm a boy. Actually, I'm 10. You are not like 10. B, you are 17 or 16. No, Meg, I'm 10. Okay. What is going on here? I am not done. I am not done. We have one more chapter to read, and then we can chat. Okay, guys? Maybe, because this is a long one. Alright. I'm gonna go back to reading. 1, 2, 3. Blackness lapped at the edges of my vision, as it did on the days my condition flared its worst. What? The word came out like a blow. Bettina threw her hands up. I'm sorry, Little Bee. I would if I could, but what you've described, that's not the spell I made. A faint roaring had started in my ears. I think you should explain exactly what your spell was meant to do. Like I told you, it was a protection charm. It was supposed to turn an attacker into a horse, so you had a chance to escape. But just for a few hours, no more. My sister shook her head, chewing her lip again. It shouldn't have lasted this long. That's far stronger magic than I've ever cast. I couldn't muster the energy to ask why she had thought turning an attacker into a massive horse was a good idea. The room swung beneath me. Then how is Eric still cursed? Tatiana spread her hands helplessly. I don't know. You know, I'm not even a proper adept. I only dabble. But even as she answered, a sick realization spread through me, as nauseating as one of my flares. The Green Witch's words came back to me, her warning when I'd asked her about Eric's curse. A long-term transformation. One that persists for days. That sounds more like blood magic. I opened my palms, now crossed by gleaming gold scars. It was fortunate I was already seated, for a chasm seemed to open beneath my feet. Bianca? Eric asked. What is it? I think I know what happened. Each word was bile on my tongue. When the assassin attacked, and I cut myself, Eric's eyes lit with understanding. Blood magic. It must have combined with your sister's original enchantment. Tatiana perked up immediately, as if she'd spotted a particularly enticing pastry. Blood magic. So it isn't just a rumor. Not a rumor, my husband confirmed, though I almost wish it were. He studied the glit scars at his own fingertips with a wry expression. Tatiana leaned forward eagerly. Wait, are those blood magic marks? On both of you? How does it work? What exactly are the... Tatiana, I cut in. Not now. Can you think of any possible way to undo the spell? My sister's face fell. I can try a few things now that Eric is here, but I can't guarantee anything, Little Bee. Transformations are tricky, and that's without the complication of whatever blood magic did. Eric cleared his throat. In theory, It could be reversed with a spell of equal power. An enchantment of similar strength would provide an opportunity to reset the enchantment's parameters. Tatiana spun to face him, her entire face glowing with excitement. You've studied magical theory? A little, Eric confessed. I've read all the books on it in the castle library. I would kill to get my hands on those. Tatiana's expression was an alarming mix of hunger and yearning. Did you know that they're entirely out of print in the Maria? They used to be more widely circulated, but the Adept Guild refuses to admit any theories that could conflict with. Eric leaned forward. From the looks of it, my husband and my sister were fully prepared to launch into an hours-long discussion on the minute points of Gildan versus Demarian magical practice. Not to interrupt this fascinating thaumaturgical conversation, I broke in, but I'm exhausted. At least one of my ribs was recently broken. I'm having a flare, and the coronation is the day after tomorrow. Could this wait until we figured out how to stop Baron from being crowned? Eric and Tatiana shared a mutual expression of sheepishness. Getting back to Arlem is straightforward enough. Oh. Getting back to Arlem is straightforward enough, Eric said after a moment. I can use my authority to commandeer a mail coach. If we leave at sunrise and change the horses at corridor stations, we can reach the castle by dawn tomorrow. Tatiana bounced on her feet. Well, that's settled then. I'll go see if the inn has another room available. I closed my eyes as she bustled out the door. Tatiana's assessment was rather optimistic, as was Eric's for that matter. Hadn't we just established that we would become a horse again at dawn? The last I'd heard, horses didn't ride in carriages. But I was too exhausted to argue logistics. Let my husband and my sister figure out how they would fit a stallion into a mail coach. They seemed eager enough to discuss it. Eric turned to me, his brow furrowing with concern. I'm sorry. I should have thought of your injuries. I know we pushed hard today. I put a hand to my ribs. An ache lingered there, but it was only painful when I moved at certain angles. No worse than a pulled muscle. I'm exhausted, but I think the healing held. And your condition? I hesitated, thinking of the peppermints the Green Witch had given me. The one I'd taken earlier had helped more than I'd expected. My nausea was nearly gone, though it had been replaced with knots of hunger. You're poisoning yourself. That's the root of it. If there was a chance she was right, that there might be a way to, if not prevent my flares altogether, at least to manage them. It was the smallest of our concerns at the moment, but I couldn't help but hope. It's not troubling me much now, I said. But Eric, the Green Witch told me there's something causing my symptoms. Something that's poisoning me. She said she's seen people with my condition before. Have you ever heard of this? He shook his head, thoughtful. Never. But that agrees with what you told me about your flares. That I would trust a Green Witch's intuition. Their magic is closely tied to living things. Did she tell you what the poison was? No, but she said you and I could figure it out. Eric reached for my hand. Then we will. It might take time, but I promise we'll find an answer. He met my eyes, his gaze warm enough to melt me. He lifted his free hand to my cheek, his thumb brushing aside a loose strand of hair. I closed my eyes and leaned into him. It was a softer kiss than our first. gentle, deliberate, as if this were something delicate, a growing tendril that needed to be protected. My pulse fluttered in my ears, as if my heart had darted free of my chest. Eric and I broke apart. Tatiana, with uncharacteristic stealth, had reappeared in the doorway. Her gaze danced between us again, and her eyebrow lifted. I straightened, my face hot. Did you secure a room? A devious gleam brightened my sister's eyes. Unfortunately, no. They're all out of rooms, but I did reserve a nice stable for the two of you to share. It even comes equipped with leather tack, in case you feel like getting adventurous. I looked at her, still-faced. Tatiana broke. She slapped her thigh, spluttering with hysterical laughter. Oh, the look on your face, she wheezed. Of course they had another room, and they'll be bringing up a hot meal shortly. I rose, still vexed. Virtues guide me. I loved my sister dearly and was grateful she'd come, but right now, if I'd had another locket handy, I would gladly have used it on her. Save the tact for your own bed partners. I'm going to lie down until dinner. I truly was exhausted. My legs had turned to lead. I'll show you where your room is, Tatiana said cheerfully, undeterred by my annoyance. I looked at Eric questioningly. He'd been arrested by the sight of books poking out from one of Tatiana's satchels and was eyeing them with undisguised yearning. I'll follow you later, Bianca, he said. I'd like to further discuss the spell with your sister. Perhaps we can decide on a few things to try at sunrise. This last was directed at Tatiana, who lit up with eagerness. Oh, yes. There are gallons of experiments I'd like to try. Virtue of mercy. I suspected Eric wasn't prepared for what he'd just agreed to. Come along, Littleby, Tatiana thrilled, and steered me forcibly out the door. I heard the rustling of turning pages as the door closed behind us. The moment it was shut, my sister whirled to face me with an impish grin on her face. So, which is better, riding him as a horse or as a... Oh, God. I reeled back from her, my face hot. Tatiana, this is a serious matter. More serious for you than I anticipated, it seems. Okay, I'm gonna drink something. Sorry, guys. More serious for you than I anticipated, it seems. She tilted her head, examining me shrewdly. How scandalous of you, Littleby. I never expected you to actually fall in love with your husband. Our parents would be appalled. Every defense, every resistance to showing vulnerability that I'd spent years building came charging out at full defensive. Tatiana's teasing was a reminder of what I'd heard all my life. Love was a weakness that anyone could exploit. One I had to hide at all costs, even from my sister. I started reflexively. Tatiana raised her brows, as if daring me to deny it. I swallowed. Did I love Eric? I'd barely allowed the idea into my reach, keeping it at bay with all the mental weaponry at my disposal. I'd learned from my mistakes with Catalina that letting my heart take the reins steered me down a painful path. But with Eric, it felt different. My feelings for him were a vulnerability, yes, but they also made me stronger in ways I'd never expected. Was that what love meant? Knowing a chink in my armor existed, yet believing, however recklessly, that no blade could find the gap? I looked away from Tatiana so she wouldn't read the turmoil in my eyes. I don't know what you're talking about, I finished wanly. My sister looked at me with her mouth quirked, every inch of her radiating skepticism. I kept my eyes fixed on the wall, refusing to meet her gaze. It had taken me years to admit the totality of what had happened with Catalina to my sister. Even though, of course, she'd heard the rumors, I wasn't about to discuss matters of the heart with her now, when I was exhausted from travel, recovering from injury, and barely understood what I felt myself. Besides, it wasn't important. What mattered at this moment was breaking Eric's curse before our time ran out, fulfilling my duty to my family and my people, the only thing I could do right. All this distance, and you're still doing exactly what our parents would want, Tatiana said after a moment, her voice wry. She stared down the hall, leaving me to trail in her wake as usual. I used to envy you for that. I stared at her, utterly taken aback. What? Why would she possibly envy me? When she was the one with everything, despite my best efforts, I had never been what our parents wanted. And not a day passed that I wasn't reminded of that fact. Tatiana shrugged. The movement was casual, but I knew her well enough to see the brittleness the gesture hid. You've always been so committed to your duty, to house Liliana. Our parents expect things of you they never would of me. Because I had nothing to offer them but duty. Because I could never measure up to my older sister. Not because they were proud. But you've never wanted to do what they expect. And you have magic. That's what our parents value, not a sick daughter. I didn't need to say it. Tatiana knew. Magic? Tatiana snorted. I can't even do that right. I'd never make the cut as an adept. And when I tried to protect you, I ended up cursing your husband. I'd always thought Tatiana relished her freedom. Disdained the dogmatic adept guild, not that she felt as inadequate as I always had. It had never occurred to me that both could be true. I reached for her hand, stopping her. It wasn't your fault. And you'll break the curse. I know you can. You're brilliant, Tatiana. If anyone can fix this, it's you. Tatiana squeezed my hand in return. I'll do my best, she said. I promise. She gave a dry laugh. It's twisted, isn't it? The way our parents hold us against each other. Like distorted mirrors. I'm glad you're far away from them, Little Bee. Even though I've missed you terribly. I swallowed. I've missed you too. I let her pull me into her arms and rested my neck on her shoulder. She smelled of lavender and bergamot, the sense of home. The softness of her embrace was a familiar comfort. My sister trying to care for me as always, in whatever chaotic way she could manage. I really am sorry about the curse, she said into my hair. I only wanted to protect you. She drew away to inspect me more thoroughly. Though perhaps you don't need my protection as much as I thought. Look at you. You're hardly a little bee anymore. You're a queen. My throat felt uncomfortably tight. Neither Tatiana nor I was practiced with sharing how we truly felt, especially when our emotions were delicate. Anger was so much easier than love. Of course I'm a queen, I said tartly. I married a king. Tatiana chuckled and released me. Not a king yet. I didn't need the reminder of how much we had at stake. I swallowed down the knot in my throat. Eric wasn't crowned yet, but we still had another full day before the coronation. That was enough time for Tatiana to figure this out, for us to stop a coup and save our friends. It had to be. I'd have expected Eric to be up all night talking magical theory with Tatiana, but it couldn't have been more than a few hours before I woke to feel him slipping into bed beside me. Instead of reaching for me or easing into sleep, he lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling. His tension was palpable, even though he didn't move. I turned onto my side to face him. What's wrong? Eric didn't look at me. Nothing worth waking you for. Now I was fully awake. I raised myself onto one elbow to look at him better. The hearth had burned down to embers that flickered green in my peripheral vision, leaving just enough light to see his face, as tense and closed off as he'd been back at Arnhem. Is it the curse? I asked. Did you and Tatiana not... No, not that. Eric hesitated. His misgivings clear as daybreak. A tight coil of worry twisted inside my chest in response. Perhaps he regretted me. I can't help but wonder if it's worth it, Eric said finally, his tone bleak as winter. If there's another way to save Maria and your retinue, if I should just let Varen take the throne. I stared at him, taken aback. Why? Eric turned his head away from me, staring at the hearth. He's always been so much better suited to being a courtier, and I'm no king. His voice was acid. I'm not good enough to rule. Not good enough to marry. Too soft, too interested in books. Not interested enough in the maneuvering and manipulations that make a powerful ruler. All in all, I'm a worthless heir. My fist clenched on the sheets. I'd heard such sentiments enough to be certain the words were not his own. He was repeating what someone else had told him. Who said those things to you? I demanded. If they'd been in the room, I would have challenged them to a duel. A muscle on Eric's jaw flared. A woman who knew what it meant to rule. I remembered how Eric had drawn back from the topic of the late queen, how shadows had circled his eyes back in the castle. I thought he was in mourning, but it was more than that, and worse. Your mother. Eric nodded, his gaze distant. She was a good ruler and a hard woman. She wanted an heir like her, bold, fearless, a commander. Born. Someone who could hold an entire room in his grasp and wind quarters around his fingers as effortlessly as a spider on its web. Someone who always had the right words and wasn't afraid to use them. He didn't need to say it. Someone who wasn't like Eric. Who wasn't gentle, thoughtful, reserved. Someone who was loved. Someone who loved being the center of attention. It must have been difficult to be the son of a woman like that. A woman he hadn't even referred to as his own mother. Anger flowed through me, bitter as vinegar. And with my outrage for Eric, I tasted anger on my own behalf too. I knew all too well what it was like to grow up under the eye of parents who deemed you inadequate, unworthy, wrong. I had experienced all the subtle ways that twisted love could hurt. She was right, Eric said flatly. Gildenham deserves a different ruler. I never wanted to be king. His mouth quirked, a contortion as sharp as a lance. My ambition was to hide myself away among my books, see the Queen leave and live to a ripe old age, and pass the throne to the next person in line without ever having to sit upon it myself. I've never wanted to be responsible for an entire country. Admission startled me. The word slipped out without consideration, startled forth like a flushed bird. I opened my mouth to swallow them back, but they were true. I'd never acknowledged them before, but seized they were true. I allowed myself to imagine it for a moment. What would unfold if we broke the curse but abandoned the throne? Gildenham's magic would no longer be our responsibility. We could leave, Eric and I, go anywhere, be whoever we wanted. Claim a life for ourselves, free of Noble's duties. And meanwhile, Varen would use his newfound power to wreak destruction on his own land, expanding the iron mines, logging the forests, decimating whatever magical creatures remained in these wild woods, using those resources to build an army. It all had been spelled out in the treaty. With the terms broken, and apparently by a Demarian hand, Varen would have an excuse to demand recompense, even go to war. The notion of running away with Eric was a dream as insubstantial as clouds. There was nowhere to run when the world was a battleground. And more than that, I knew my responsibilities weighed as intimately as a mantle over my shoulders, just as it had been my duty to marry Eric. It was my duty to break the curse, free my retinue, and set this all to rights. Monarchy might be a flawed system, but if anyone could change it for the better, it wouldn't be Varen. It would be Eric. I laid a hand on my husband's jaw, turning him to face me. Eric, the Queen was wrong. He allowed me to move him, though I felt the tension in his muscles, his desire to hide himself away again. I kept my eyes fixed on his. I wasn't so certain about my own parents' judgments, but in Eric's case, the Queen had undoubtedly been mistaken. At the castle, you left me a book, I said. A history of the Aryan Wars. A wry smile. I did. I couldn't find very many texts in your language that might interest you on short notice. So it hadn't been an insult after all, but another instance of kindness. He was so much more than he gave himself credit for. My point is, we both know our country's histories. Years of conflict spurred by the desire for control, craving power, killing for power. Doesn't make you a good ruler. It makes you a tyrant. I ran my thumb along his jaw. You're not like that. And you're a better man for it. Eric's eyes were shadowed. Tentatively, he caught my hand in his. Interlacing our fingers, I couldn't tell, or I could tell, he didn't believe me. Not fully. Not yet. It isn't always easy to choose your duty, I said, my voice low. But it's a choice we have to make, for the people we Love. I faltered on the word. Tatiana might have seen that delicate truth, but I couldn't admit it yet. Couldn't lay down the final feeble shield I held against the world. For the people who depend on us, I finished instead. And whatever you've been told, you are worthy. Even if you don't believe it yourself. Finally, infinitesimally, Eric softened. He turned on to his side to face me. Whatever subtle duel we'd been fighting, I had won. You're the one who's worthy, he murmured, his fingers tracking the curve of my spine. You deserve so much more than me, so much more than I can give you. My eyes fluttered closed as his hand found the hem of my shirt, scattering my thoughts. I'm not sure of that. You gave me quite a lot the other night. Eric's breath quickened as I reached for him. Bro! Oh my god. Perhaps, I whispered. You'd like... Oh god. Perhaps, I whispered. You'd be willing to show me exactly how much you can give me. Guys, oh my god. Wait, let me skim this. Okay. Eric touched his brow to mine, his fingers twining in my hair. Bianca, he said, his voice rough with want. I'd give you everything. It was my turn for my breath to catch. The way he said my name sounded like love. It sounded final. But I could save such fears, such revelations for the morning. Tonight, I was eager to lose myself, even just for this moment. Oh my god, brother. Guys, I have to skip this, sorry. Hey yo. We woke up before dawn and met Tatiana at the top of the stairs before heading outside in the twilight of early morning. No other guests were up, though I heard the sounds of breakfast being prepared as we passed the kitchen and made our way out to the stables. A dozen hopeful equine heads poked over stall doors. Tatiana woke the startled holster, who was asleep on a pile of hay, and shooted her out. Shooed her out. I saw the flash of coin changing hands, which assuaged my guilt about interfering with the girl's duties. Eric let himself into an empty stall to disrobe, using the half door for privacy. Meanwhile, Tatiana sat on the ground and fussed with a collection of wires and notions, muttering obliquely to herself while twisting them together. Suspicious, I stepped closer to look at what she was up to. What are you planning to do with all those? Make a spell, of course, Tatiana said breezily. You never know when you'll need a good bouton. A decidedly unhelpful answer. Not that I'd really expected a proper explanation from her. Tatiana had been building eccentric contraptions since she first manifested the ability to channel magic. Much to her parents' dismay, Tatiana, I said sternly, tell me what you intend to do to my husband. My sister looked up from her fiddling. Well, she said in a conspirational tone. Have you ever heard of a miniature horse? What? Tatiana, are you planning to shrink my husband? Tatiana clutched her sides, falling over herself with laughter. Tatiana! Behind us, Eric cleared his throat. I'm ready. I looked up and my heart forgot a beat. Though the half door of the stall hid everything below the waist, Eric was unmistakably unclothed. The shadows picked out the hollow of his throat, making my fingers yearn to trace his collarbones and pull him close, if we didn't have company. Please don't let my sister shrink you, I implored. I like the size you are. Tatiana cackled. Eric turned red. I flushed. Never mind. Size doesn't matter. Are you sure you agree to this, Eric? He smiled faintly, but the expression hid a thought I couldn't parse. It will be all right, Bianca. He hadn't answered my question. My heart dipped towards my stomach. How long until sunrise? Tatiana asked. I looked out the stable door, trying to dispel the visions of a palm-sized Eric impinging on my attempt to calm. The courtyard blocked my view of the horizon itself, but the periwinkle glow of the cloudless sky sunrise was imminent. Any minute now. Movement flickered in the courtyard. I narrowed my eyes, straining to see. It was nothing, surely. A departing guest, or one of the inn's staff attending their duties. But for some reason, tension gripped the back of my neck. Whether it's the moment the sun touches the horizon or the moment it clears it, Tatiana was saying, oh god, wait, I read that wrong. Whether it's the moment the sun touches the horizon or the moment it clears it, Tatiana was saying, what defines sunrise anyways? I've never really given it much thought. Tatiana, I said, my voice low. My sister knew every pattern of my speech. She looked up, her words cutting off mid-syllable. At that moment, the sun rose. A flash of light, a sound like an explosion heard through muffled ears. A heavy thud from the stall behind me, and then a white horse rose to all four legs, vigorously shaking his mane. For a moment, I thought the shadow filling the stable door was some new effect of the spell. Then the shadow split into two, and then three, then more. And as the after image of the enchantment's flash cleared from my vision, the truth became clearer. 5 strangers dressed in knee-length black cloaks in the Gildan style, each bearing a saber at their hip. An iron fist squeezed my hand, tight with dread. The centermost stranger, a woman around my mother's age, leaned forward to peer into the stable. As Tatiana and I stared back, her gaze cut across us like a knife. That's her, the woman said. The king's wife. Seize her. Oh no. That's bad. Alright. I'm back. Let's see what was said while I was away. Let's see. This is where I stopped. Meg says, Mexico, in which state are you? There, I want to meet you and talk to you more. Who, me? Meg said. To Bunny. Okay. Me, I'm not in Mexico. I'm in the United States, but I'm not planning to do any face reveals. It's getting late. I should go. Bye. Wish you luck. All right, Jake. Stay hydrated. Have a great day or night. Don't forget to leave a like, check, comment, subscribe if you have not already, and bye. Meg says, it means for what? Hi, Meg. Yo, I'm back, but huh? You're still reading? I commented. I don't know how it is deleted. Oh, Meg, sometimes YouTube eats comments. How long is she gonna read? Claudia, where are you from? I'm from Romania. Oh, cool, right? I'm half Indian, half Nepali. Damn. How long is this going to take? How long is this going to take? 15 minutes. Wait. I am back. I am back, guys. I'm back. It is I. I am done reading. Okay. I had to skip some parts again, but hey. I get shy, okay? Y'all already know. Y'all already know. I don't know why this stuff is in the book. I looked it up. They said it wasn't in it. That's wild. Okay. Well, I guess. But you know what, guys? It's fine. Oh, you said another channel I subscribed. You. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Oh wait, you're saying you subscribed twice? Is that what you're saying? I mean, guys, we're almost done with the book. We'll see next time. We'll see how it goes. Really? I hope there's no more, but I can't make any promises. I'm actually really shy about reading this kind of thing on here, so. And depending on how it goes, like, I don't know. Oh, you create a new channel to subscribe to me. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Are y'all staying hydrated? Eating well? Guys, come on now. But, yeah. Now that I've finished reading, I'm like, oh my goodness. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. Meg, sadly, I am not planning to do any face reveals, meaning, like, I don't want to do any meet and greets or anything like that. If I do, I might be like a digital person or something. Hi, Royal Edits. How are you doing? Hello. You know who is Miss World? I think her name is Aina. But you know why she won? Because you didn't participate. Thank you, Royal Edits. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I actually do not know. So if you do know her name, I mean, feel free to share. But you know what? I actually really like fashion. So I just don't have the income to be able to like delve deeply into it. I would like to change my style to something like uh a gothic cowgirl, but like also like a maybe like a 60s like dance like hippie vibe as well. Like I don't know, like something like whimsical but also dark at the same time, but also like cowgirlish. I don't know. You know, because I'm at yeehaw, but also like, you know, but also like pink and I also like green and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I do have a lot of ideas of what I would like to do with fashion. Anyways, guys, with that being said, thank you for watching. Please, if you like to comment and subscribe if you have not already. Check the description down below. And only if you like what you see. Bye.